Let's pay homage to the Buddha by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. So today we will learn about Abhidhamma. Abhidhamma is a portion of the Buddha's teaching. As you know, if we divide Buddha's teaching in 3 ways, one is Vinaya, number 2 is Sutta, number 3 is Abhidhamma, or the Buddha's teaching. The Buddha teaches Abhidhamma, especially in the Deva realm, for 3 months. At the same time, the Buddha keep there one Buddha Rupa in the Deva realm to continue to teach for the Devas. The Buddha is a human, so he needs to maintain his body by going for alms round, by eating foods. Because of this, keeping one Buddha-like image on behalf of a live Buddha. That Buddha teach at that time. The Buddha come to human world, go for Vainapada, eat like that. So he stayed in the forest. At that time, Bhante Sariputta approached the Buddha. At that time, the Buddha teach Bhante Sariputta Abhidhamma. So the Buddha teach Abhidhamma in the Deva realm. That is, we call Vaitaranaya. The Buddha teach in wider way in the Deva realm because it takes times for 3 months. But in the human world, the Buddha teach Bhante Sariputta in brief way. So later, after getting the system from the Buddha, Bhante Sariputta teaches his disciple. So nowadays we have Abhidhamma teaching, we have books that is taught by Bhante Sariputta. Bhante Sariputta did not teach Abhidhamma in his knowledge, with his knowledge. Getting system from the Buddha, he teaches his disciples. Nowadays we have the books, we have the system that is given by Bhante Sariputta. But because of according to Buddha's knowledge, he teach. That is, we have to say Buddha's teaching. Abhidhamma is Buddha's teaching. Why Bhante Sariputta not use his own knowledge? Getting from the Buddha, he can teach. Because of this, Abhidhamma is the Buddha's teaching. So Bhanisariputra teaches his disciples that is not so brief or not so wide. We call it Nadi Vaitara, Nadi Sinkhepa. Nadi Vaitara means is not so wide. Nadi Sinkhepa, not so brief, not so narrow. So in the Abhidhamma, the Buddha teaches for 3 months, that is a wider way. The Buddha teaches Bhanisariputra, that is a very brief way. Because Bhanisariputra is knowledgeable. The Buddha only teaches in brief way. So after that, Bhanisariputra teaches his disciples, monks. So that is a Nadi Vaitara, not so wide. Nadi Sinkhepa, not so brief, like that. So now we have books or teachings that is given by Bhanisariputra. But although we say not so wide and not so brief, still have a lot of books, a lot of teaching. So after the Buddha passed away, 900 years after the Buddha passed away, one bhikkhu, his name is Bhante Anuruddha. Anuruddha, he writes one book we call Abhidhammata Singha, combination of or handbook of Abhidhamma. So nowadays in Myanmar, many bhikkhus or most of bhikkhus learn Abhidhamma from this book, especially starting point. Without learning that books, if you want to read Abhidhamma books directly, that is difficult to understand, not understandable for the many people. So because of this, we need to learn that books according to traditional way. That is a better way. After learning in these books, if you want to learn Abhidhamma books directly, that is possible to understand. Anyway, Abhidhamma is useful for daily life. Abhidhamma is to get right view. I think people should learn Abhidhamma to get right view. Without learning Abhidhamma, we cannot understand about our body, about our mind. So many confuse we can have. So if we learn Abhidhamma about the mind, become clear about the materiality in our body, about our thinking, become clear. Because of this, we should learn Abhidhamma. Abhidhamma is useful for the daily life. So what is Abhidhamma? Abhidhamma is have some definition. One of the definition is special. Dhamma is Dhamma. So special Dhamma, special phenomena, or special Dhamma, special teaching. Not like Sutta. Sutta teaching is normal usage. Rich man, king, like that. Deva, human, such a usage we understand easily. But Abhidhamma term is different. Don't use man and woman, rich people or king, Deva, human. They use mentality, materiality, phenomena. So quite difficult to understand. Because of this, that is a special Dhamma. Special Dhamma. For example, if we say water, everybody can understand. That is a normal usage, not special usage. But sometimes in science they teach that is water is H2O. So quite difficult to understand. But to create water, to understand well, we need to know such things. So in the same way, Abhidhamma is like that, special Dhamma. Many phenomena teaches taught in Abhidhamma. So in the Abhidhamma, the Buddha teaches one is a Paramattha, the other is a Panyati. Paramattha is ultimate reality, mostly teaches in Abhidhamma. Panyati is a concept or conventional truth. In Abhidhamma book, we can find concepts or conventional truth, but that is a little. Most of place we can find ultimate reality, Paramattha. So how many kinds of Paramattha? 4 kinds of Paramattha, 4 kinds of ultimate reality, Paramattha in Pali. Number 1 is Citta, consciousness. Number 2 is Cetasika, mental factors. Not sector, instead of S, F. Mental factors. Rupa, materiality. Nibbana. Nibbana, some people translate final peace. So literal translation is Nibbana is Ni and Wana are combined. No craving. The place where there is no craving. That is Nibbana. So first of all, we will learn Citta. Citta, consciousness. Citta also mentality. Cetasika also mentality. Cetasika is association of Citta. They arise together, vanish together. They take the same object. They take the same base. They are together. But Citta is very important to take objects. So the characteristics of the Citta is awareness of the object. Just awareness. Just take object. Awareness of the object. Taking of the object. So something you know, Citta take that object. Citta aware that object. Cetasika is Citta's association. Mental factors. Citta's association. Together with the Citta, they arise. But Citta is important. So at one time, one Citta and a few Cetasika arise together, vanish together, the same object or the same base. Next one is Rupa, materiality. Materiality is in our body, have some materiality. 28 kinds of materiality we have. That is later we will learn. Materiality is not take object. Don't take object. Mentality only can take object. Materiality cannot take object. Nibbana. Nibbana is ordinary person. We cannot say, we cannot see. Not in our body. Nibbana is not in our body. Outside the body. So to know Nibbana, the Buddha teaches, first of all, you need to understand, you need to practice to know Citta, Cetasika, Rupa. If you know Citta, Cetasika, Rupa, that is possible to know Nibbana. So Citta, Cetasika, Rupa is have in our body, but Nibbana is not in our body. That is Bahita Dhamma, external Dhamma, external phenomena. But sometimes the Buddha teaches to find Nibbana, need to find in our body, in your body, like that. That is another saying. Yes, Nibbana is not in our body, outside of the body. But to find Nibbana, we have to see our body, Citta, Cetasika, Rupa. Without seeing Chaita Chetasika Rupa, that is not possible to see Nibbana. So because of this, Nibbana is although external phenomena have to find inside of our body. So first of all, we will learn Chaita. We will learn Chaita. So if you learn Abhidhamma, you can understand Buddha's knowledge. Very detailed. So first of all, since sphere consciousness, Kama Vajara Chaita. Since sphere consciousness, that is have 54 consciousness. So why call Kama Vajara Chaita? This Chaita, this consciousness, mostly arise in the Kama realm, Kama sphere. Kama sphere is 4 woeful states. Do you know 4 woeful states? Niraya, hell, Tirajana, animal, Beta, like hungry ghost or ghost. Next one is Asura Kaya, one kind of Beta, one kind of ghost. Mostly bigger size. That is a 4 woeful states. 4 woeful states. Another human world. 1 or 5. 6 rupa realm. 6 rupa sphere. So all are 11 realm. That is we call it sense sphere or sense realm or Kama Vajara realm. So this consciousness mostly arise in the Kama realm, in the human world, animal, ghost, hell, and the Deva world. Because of this, we give a name sense sphere consciousness or sensual realm consciousness. So first of all, 12 unwholesome consciousness. Akusala Chaita. Chaita is a consciousness. Akusala is unwholesome. So you need to familiar with Pali words. Because sometimes translations changing. Because of changing, if you know original language, that is better. Every teacher have a responsibility to teach in Pali language. If they use always a translation, sometimes the translation is different. So together with Pali words, that is better. Akusala Chaita. Akusala means the characteristics of Akusala is can produce suffering or bad result. That is the one characteristics. Another characteristic have guilty or fault. That is Akusala. Akusala can produce bad results or suffering and have fault or guilty. That is Akusala. So Akusala is to remove for us, not to create, not to cultivate. That is to remove. The Buddha teaches Sabapapasa Akarana, not to do all evil things, all Akusala. That is not to do, to avoid. Why? Akusala can produce bad destination, woeful states, and bad results. Because of this, we should not do those Akusala. The Buddha teaches that is to avoid. In Sutta, the Buddha may teach what is akusala. Not to killing, not to stealing, not doing misconduct about the sexual case, not telling lie, not drinking alcohol. That is in Sutta, the Buddha may teach. But in Vidama, not like that. So, first of all, how to teach? We should learn 8 kinds of consciousness rooted in greed. In Pali, Lobha Mula Chaita. Chaita is consciousness, Mula is root, Lobha is greed. Chaita rooted in Lobha. Lobha supports that Chaita. Lobha is one kind of root. Lobha is actually Cetasika, one kind of mental factor. That Chaita supported by Lobha, greed. So sometimes we mention the Chaita with association. For example, if we don't know someone, oh, you know, he is with the white shirt, like that. Always he come here with the short one or with the tall one. So sometimes to mention the someone, we have to mention with the association. In the same way, to mention Chaita, have to say with the association. Lobha is association of Chaita. Chaita is like water, just taking object, just aware of the object. Chaita is only that. No have greed, no have anger. Like that, Chaita is like water. If you add mango, become mango liquid, mango water. If you add apple, become apple water. In the same way, Chaita is originally just awareness of the object, just taking the object only. But if add greed, become greed Chaita. If add anger, become anger Chaita. Now this Chaita is rooted in Lobha, added by Lobha, like that. So we call Lobha Mula Chaita. I think a better way is follow to recite me in Pali words. Huh? Like a teaching for children. Huh? So first of all, we try to understand in Pali words. Somanasa Sahagata, Detigata Sampayota, Asankarika Meka. Asankarika Meka is Asankarikam Ekam. That is because of combination Asankarika Meka. In English, you know, I am, I'm. I'm is 2 words are combined. I am. In the same way, Asankarika Meka is Asankarikam Ekam. Ekam is one consciousness. Somanasa Sagatam means accompanied by pleasant feeling. Detigata Sampayota means associated by wrong view. Asankarika means unprompted. So, consciousness, one consciousness accompanied by pleasant feeling associated with wrong view. Unprompted. That is the one. Second, only changing instead of asankarika, sasankarika. Sasankarika means prompted. So, number 3 is Detigata Vipayota, not Detigata Sampayota. Detigata Vipayota is dissociated from wrong view. Detigata Vipayota, dissociated from wrong view. Number 4 also the same, changing asankarika, sasankarika. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. The same. Only changing instead of Somanasa Sahagatan, Ubekha Sahagatan. Ubekha Sahagatan is a neutral feeling. So you should repeat to remember. Huh? Follow me. Somanasa Sahagatan Deti Gada Sambayodam Asankarika Mekam. Number 2. Somanasa Sahagatan Deti Gada Sambayodam Sasankarika Mekam. Number 3. Somanasa Sahagatan Deti Gada Vibhayodam Asankarika Kame. Number 3 or 4? 3 or Asankarika Mekam. Number 4. Somanasa Sahagatan Deti Gada Vibhayodam Sasankarika Mekam. Number 5. Ubekha Sahagatan Deti Gada Sambayodam Asankarika Mekam. Number 6. Ubekha Sahagatan Deti Gada Sambayodam Sasankarika Mekam. Number 7. Ubekha Sahagatan Deti Gada Vibhayodam Asankarika Mekam. Number 8. Ubekha Sahagatan Deti Gada Vibhayodam Deti Gada Vibhayodam Sasankarika Mekam. All are 8. So we can count like that. Somanasa 4, Ubekha 4, 8. Deti Gada Sambayodam 4. Deti Gada Vibhayodam 4. All are 8. In the same way, Asankarika 4, Sasankarika 4, 8. We can count in this way. Because if you go later, you continue to learn. Sometimes Loba Mula Chaita Somanasa 4, they may use like that. Ubekha 4. Sometimes they use Deti Gada Sambayodam 4, Deti Gada Vibhayodam 4. Sometimes they use Asankarika 4, Sasankarika 4. So you need to understand. So we have agreed only this 8, not more than that. So, but one time only one consciousness can arise, cannot arise together, all 8. So, like that, number 1 is Somanasa Sahagatan. You greed something, you attach something, you want to get something, or you love, you like, you wish something. And that is a greed consciousness. That is a very good, if you think, that is you are happy. So your consciousness associated by joy. Because the object is good. That is one reason to be somanasa, to be pleasant feeling. Another reason is some people are into the mother womb, starting point of our life. Our consciousness is associated by pleasant feeling. Some people are associated by neutral feeling. Based on that, Some people have a happy type. Some people have a neutral feeling type. So, although we have the same property, some people have a happiness. Some people are not happy. Why? Their consciousness in the beginning points different. Because of this, based on that, some people are easy to happy. Some people are not easy to happy. That is one reason. Another reason is some people have deep nature. Some people are like a shallow nature. Deep nature, if someone has a deep nature, once they see something, they check a lot. That is really good or not. Like that. So they not happy easily. Based on that, sometimes we want something, our mind associated with a pleasant feeling. Sometimes accompanied by neutral feeling. Although we have something, we greed something, we attach something. Some people are happy, some people are neutral feeling. Because of this, sometimes our mind, somanasa sahagatam. Sometimes our mind, ubekha sahagatam. You can check your greed. What kind of greed you have. Next one is Daitikata Sampayutta and Daitikata Vipayutta. Daitikata Sampayutta is associated with wrong view. Daitikata Vipayutta is dissociated from wrong view. Sometimes we greed something, we want to get, we attach something. Some people understand that is akusala, that is not good. That is can produce woeful states. They understand. They don't have a wrong view, but they still want. They still attach. So that mind is associated, dissociated from wrong view because they understand. If you have learned a Abhidhamma, you may attach something. You may know that is a no-go, that is a greed, that is an akusala mind. The Buddha teaches to avoid, not to do. If you understand like that, your greed is dissociated from wrong view. Some people are not understand. They steal others' property. They want to get others' property. They think that is no fault. That is no problem. That is no akusala. Stealing is no problem. Meeting to steal only problem. They say they are stealing is no problem. But if someone meets or find him, that is only they think a problem. If other person not see him, that is no problem. Buddhist idea is not like that. Although other person don't know him, stealing is not good. Stealing can produce woeful state or bad results. They understand like that. That is according to real. According to real. Reality also like that. If someone steals, because of stealing that karma, he may be poor. Many people may hate him. That is a result of stealing. If that karma mature, can produce those results. Because of this, they are knowing about a karma result is right, not wrong view. If they understand like that, that is no problem. That is no fault. That is a wrong view. Reality and their thinking is different. Because of this, that is we call wrong view. So, if you want to get something, you have a greed. But if you don't understand, that is akusala, that is evil thing. If so, that is your mind associated with wrong view. With the wrong view. Next one is asankarika, satsankarika. Asankarika means unprompted. Sasankarika is a prompted. Unprompted is originally your mind quite stronger. Want to get. Nobody need to encourage you. So originally you want something, you greet something, you attach, you love something. That is unprompted. Sometimes, like children, you may give something. He doesn't want to get, but you encourage. Oh, that is a very good, very delicious. If you don't want to get, I will give another one, or younger one, or elder one, like that. Because of encouraging by other person, or later the children want to get. Such mind is we call prompted, like that. So encouraging by others, encouraging by ourselves, that is possible. That is a prompted, unprompted. So all are aids. So whenever we have greed, among this consciousness, one of them. If we are happily want to get, we don't know cause and effect. Unprompted, if so, that is a fast citta. Happily we want to get, we don't know cause and effect, but prompted, that is a second citta. You should find out what kind of citta arises within you, especially in the vipassana stage. So that is a greed consciousness. So what is the cause of happiness? So object is must be good, according to your thinking, or really good. Object is must be good. Another thing is in the rebirth linking consciousness. That consciousness is a starting point of our life, associated with pleasant feeling. Another one is shallow nature. That is the cause of pleasant feeling. So if different, that is the cause of neutral feeling. Next one is what is the cause of wrong view? Associated with people who has wrong view. Another one is you have an inclination to get wrong view. If so, you may have a wrong view because you associated with the wrong view person. You have inclination to have a wrong view. Some people like no cause and effect is better because they want to do whatever they want to do whatever they want to do, like that. That is maybe in the previous lives they have many lives, they have a wrong view in many lives. Because of this, they incline to have a wrong view. So that is the cause of a wrong view. So unprompted is like that. If you are healthy, you eat good food, no need to prompted. Your mind is strong. Something want to get strongly. But if you weak because of eating bad food, staying in bad weather, if so, you may need to be prompted by other people or yourself. So that is the causes. So greed is actually to avoid. That is not to do. Why? That is can produce bad results. The Buddha teaches that is to avoid. In the Sutta, the Buddha may teach not to do killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, telling lie, or not drinking alcohol. But in Bidama teaches like that you should not have those mind. That is the only citta. If we mention the Cetasika before teaching that greed or conceit, wrong view, that is a greed type. So greed means the factors. So you should not have. To avoid that, sometimes the Buddha teaches like that, to see as a bad object, a disagreeable object, For example, by seeing someone, if you attach, you find out disagreeable object of him. For example, if you love someone, if you want to avoid, you should find out dirty thing. From his eye, dirty thing come out. From his ear, every dirty thing come out. Nose, so to avoid greed, you should see the object as a disagreeable, asubha. Foundness, meditation. You know 32 parts. Hair, body hair, like the liver, intestine, some the very dirty thing about our body. You should see only to avoid greed. The Buddha teaches. So if you attach properties, the Buddha encourages you. That is cannot last long time. That is not our own property. Command to all. If the thief steal your property, no more your property, become others' property. So property has that nature. You should think about that. If so, you can reduce attachment or greed like that. The Buddha teaches like that. Because the cause of greed is you see the object as a lovable, as a agreeable. If you can find out disagreeable, you can reduce attachment. So we should go next one. 2 kinds of consciousness rooted in hatred. Dosa mula chaita. Dosa mula chaita. Chaita is a consciousness. Mula is a root. Dosa is anger. So anger or hatred. Consciousness rooted in hatred. Rooted in anger. So that is a dosa. What is a dosa? So mention the chaita with the association. Someone with a white t-shirt. Someone come here always with some short one or tall one, like that. Sometimes to mention someone, we mention with the association. In the same way, consciousness is just awareness of the objects, just taking objects, no more that. But according to association, if associates with anger, become anger consciousness. What is anger? Anger is something which can destroy by oneself or others. The characteristics of anger is cruelty. Some people are cruel. That is the characteristic of, in his mind, have anger. If so, he become cruel. Cruelty. He has cruelty. So, the characteristics of anger is cruelty. In the literature, give a simile like a poisonous snake hit by something. So, that is like anger. Can spread the whole body like a poison. Like a poison. Another simile is like a forest fire. Forest fire is dependent on forest, but he make burn forest. In the same way, anger also dependent on us, but burn us. If we have anger, we are very feeling is no good, like that. Feeling is no good. Burn oneself, like a forest fire. Another simile is like enemy with a friendly face. Friendly face. They can associate with us. After that, they kill us because he has a friendly face. So in the same way, anger is very near with us. We have anger. Anger associated with us. After that, kill us. So because of this, anger is like enemy with a friendly face. Another simile is like something not bad taste. Taste is very bad. Also poisonous. Poisonous. Have a poison. Not like medicine. Medicine is sometimes taste, although taste is not good, but useful. But that is anger is not like that. No good taste, bad taste. Also poisonous. So in the same way, if we have anger, feeling is not good. That is not good taste. In the same way, can produce woeful state, bad result. That is poisonous. So what is the cause of anger? In the Buddha's teaching mentioned, like that someone you see, you think he has done my disadvantages. He is doing my disadvantages. He will do my disadvantages. In the same way, my friend's disadvantages. 3 things. Another 3 things is he has done my enemy's advantages, benefits. He is doing my enemy's advantages. He will do my enemy's benefits. If you think someone, the anger come out. So to have anger, you need disagreeable object. Disagreeable object. So you see someone like as a disagreeable, as a not lovable. If so, you may have anger. So this citta is associated with such mental factor. Because of this, we call dosa mula citta, consciousness rooted in hatred. How many? Only 2. Repeat after me. Domanasa sahagatam Patika sampayodam Asankarika mekam. Number 2. Domanasa sahagatam Patika sampayodam Sasankarika mekam. Ekam is one consciousness. Domanasa sahagatam is accompanied by unpleasant feeling. Patika sampayodam means with association with aversion. Aversion is anger, the same. Aversion, anger, the same. Asankarika is unprompted. Sasankarika is prompted. So only 2. If you have one, then is asankarika, one then is sasankarika. Among these 2, one of them, you will have this anger citta. So whenever you have anger, you are not happy with unpleasant feeling. Anger is have a bad taste. Bad taste. Also poisonous. So no have a pleasant feeling, no have a neutral feeling. Whenever someone has anger citta, dosa mula citta, he has unpleasant feeling. According to feeling, unpleasant feeling. Patika sampayodam, aversion. That is like the same as anger. Asankarika. Sometimes no need to prompt that. Unprompted. Your mind already strong. You have anger strongly. That is unprompted. Sometimes, originally, you are not have anger. Someone say badly, you don't know that his saying is bad. You not think. But someone encourage you. Oh, he say you badly. You should have anger. Like that. If so, that is a prompted. Later you have anger. That Jeta is a prompted. Like someone encourage ourselves. Oh, I should have. So like that. So that is anger, Jeta. That is to avoid. So what is the cause of unpleasant feeling? The cause of dosa, Jeta. One is a disagreeable object. You experience, you find an object that is disagreeable. For example, in this room, if very hot, how you have? You may have anger. Oh, why so hot? You may say like that. That is a disagreeable object you need. Another one is previous time I have said you are attitude. You see someone, your attitude is he is doing my disadvantages. So that is the cause of anger. So if you want to remove the anger, that is to remove, the Buddha teaches, anger is should not have, should dispel. That is to dispel. Not bhavetapa dhamma, to cultivate. That is a pahatapa dhamma, to dispel. Whenever you have this Jeta, trying to dispel. So how to dispel? In some sutta, the Buddha gave some method. By seeing someone, if you have anger, you should find out agreeable object. Agreeable object. Some people are bodily action is not good, but speaking is very good. Speaking is very good, very sweet. Applying the honey on the lip with a smiling face. But really not do like that. But if you see speaking, good speaking, only you should focus on the good speaking. Good speaking. You should not focus on action. If you focus on action, you may have greed. Anyway, if you speak goodly, that is also to listen something good. If you think, you may not have anger. In the same way, some people are action only good, speaking is not good. If so, you should see action to dispel anger to him. So some people are only in mind, it is good. No good bodily action and verbal action. If so, only you should focus mind. If so, some people are everything not go on to do. The Buddha encourage have a compassion. But you may have for someone who you love, like your children. If bad, how to see? Oh, very poor. For how he will spot his life. You may think, because if someone everything is bad, his condition is not good. That is very poor. So after passed away, he may get bad destination. So by thinking like that, should have compassion to dispel anger. So like that, some teaching the Buddha teach, that is to dispel anger. So about the property, if you have anger, the Buddha encourage to discern 4 elements. 4 elements like that. So that is to anyway to dispel by radiating metta, by seeing as an agreeable object, by reflecting in some Dhamma, you trying to dispel anger, because anger is a bad taste and poisonous. Some people sorrow, lamentation, depression because of anger. Anger increase, arise continuously. Later have such mind. Always have bad taste. So that is to dispel. Next one is two types of consciousness. Next one is two kinds of consciousness rooted in delusion. Moha. Moha mula chaita. Moha. Chaita is a consciousness. Moha is a delusion. That is a chaita's association. Moha is a mental factor, cetasika, not chaita. But to mention chaita, sometimes we need to mention with the association. So chaita with the delusion. That is rooted in delusion. Moha is the characteristic of the state of darkness of mind. If you have a delusion, you have darkness. Not see truly, may see wrongly. Anyana lekano, opposite of knowledge. Asambati vedara, so function of delusion is not penetrating. We have a delusion. Because of this, although the Buddha teach mentality, materiality, nirvana, can we see? We cannot see because covered by delusion. Delusion is darkness, covering the real object. If someone have a delusion, practicing wrongly, some people they think by killing I may get good destination. They worship some gods by killing animal like that. So because they have a delusion, they practice wrongly. Delusion is the roots of all akusala. Not only for this two. Delusion is a root of for all akusala. Previous two chaita rooted in greed, rooted in hatred. In that chaita also have a delusion. For example, rooted in greed. In that chaita two roots. One is rooted in greed. One is rooted in delusion. In anger chaita also two roots. One is rooted in hatred. One is rooted in delusion. Because of delusion is always together. Because of this, we don't give the name with the delusion. Only we say rooted in greed, rooted in hatred. But in this chaita, no greed, no hatred, only delusion. Because of this, only in this chaita, we mentioned chaita rooted in delusion. Previous two chaita is rooted in greed, rooted in delusion. Rooted in hatred, rooted in delusion. But in this chaita, only delusion. No greed, no hatred. Actually, delusion is whenever we have akusala, delusion always have. Why? We do akusala evil then. Why? We don't know cause and effect. We really don't know. Because of this, we happen to do evil then. If we understand cause and effect, we may not do evil then. We eat this, that is poisonous. If we know, we may not eat. But if we don't know that is poisonous, sometimes we may think poison as a medicine. If so, we may eat. Like that. So, whenever we have akusala, we have a delusion. But for this two chaita, only delusion associates. The other chaita, other mental factor also have. Delusions are always the same. Because of this, we don't give the name with the delusion in previous two chaita. In this chaita, only mere delusion, just the delusion. Because of this, we give the name consciousness rooted in delusion, like that. So because of this, you know the Buddha's quality. Arahant, Arahant. Many meaning. Some are worthy one, like that. One meaning is Raha. Raha is a secluded place. Is no secluded place. The Buddha has no secluded place. That is one meaning. In the world, some people are accepted as a noble person or wise man. But in front of many people, they don't do evil then, because they fear to lose fame. Their thinking is doing evil then is only in front of many people can produce better result. If in secluded place, no problem, they think. Actually, they are not wise men. They don't know the real nature of evil thing. For the Buddha, he really understands that evil thing is even in secluded place, even in front of many people, and that is the same result. Because of this, for the Buddha, because of his knowledge, his non-delusion, always even in secluded place, he don't do evil thing. Because of this, for him, we call Arahat, no secluded place. That is a really wise man. Some people are just accepting as a wise man. In front of people, don't do evil thing, but in a secluded place, they do evil thing. So that is they have a delusion. They don't have a knowledge. So whenever we do akusala, we have a delusion because we don't know cause and effect. We happen to do evil thing. So we should count fast. Repeat after me. Ubekha sahagadam Vichikeja sambayoda megam Ubekha sahagadam Odaja sambayoda megam. Ekam is one consciousness. Ubekha sahagadam is accompanied by equanimity. Equanimity and neutral feeling the same. So translations are different. Equanimity, neutral feeling the same. Vichikeja sambayoda associates with doubts. Odija sambayoda associates with restlessness. So only neutral feeling because of delusion. Delusion is don't know. That is what they are not cannot decide. If someone cannot decide, they don't have a pleasant feeling or unpleasant feeling because they cannot decide. That is maybe good, maybe not good, or may right, may wrong, like that. If we think like that, we may have a neutrality. That is our feeling. So next one is Vichikeja Sampayoda. What is Vichikeja? Associated with Vichikeja. Vichikeja is a doubt. Doubt is thinking in two ways. Maybe right, maybe wrong, like that. Maybe true, maybe lie, like that. So that is a doubt. But doubt on what? Doubt on what? So for example, about this property, that is a good or bad. This phone or good or bad. If you think that is not Vichikeja, that is you are lack of learning knowledge, no akusala, doubt. This doubt is like that about the eighth place, about the Buddha. If you have a doubt, he really know every Dhamma or not? He really have such a quality or not? If you think about the Buddha, that is a Vichikeja, doubt, akusala. about the Dhamma. About the Dhamma, creation knowledge, path knowledge, Nibbana, and the Buddha's teaching. If you have about that teaching, you have doubt, that is right or wrong. If you have such thinking, that is a doubt, akusala mind. Next one is about the Sangha. Sangha, especially in the Buddha time, they have practiced, they already improved by practicing Buddha's teaching. So about those persons, if you have doubts, they really can dispel akusala or not. If you have doubt, that is akusala. Next one is about Sila, Samadhi, Panya. The Buddha teaches Sila, morality, Samadhi, concentration, Panya, wisdom. If you have doubts about those teaching, that is a doubt, akusala mind. Next one is about previous life, previous 5 aggregates, previous lives, whether previous lives really have or not. If you think, that is a doubt, akusala mind. For the future also the same. Next one is future and previous life. Another one is connection, previous past life and this life and future life. Connection. In Buddha term, we say dependence, origination. If you have such a doubt, for example, karma and karma result, if you have a doubt, that is a vicikicca, akusala mind. So all are 8. In the 8 places, if you have a doubt, that is a vicikicca. Vicikicca. That is at that time you have this consciousness. Consciousness with a neutral feeling and with doubt. That is a moha mula citta. Moha mula citta. If you want to do about business, this business was successful or not, that is a no doubt. Yeah, that is a lack of learning knowledge. Next one is Udicca Sampayutta, associate with restlessness. Restlessness is Udicca. Actually, Udicca is associated with all akusala citta. Not only this, but this is don't have other than only this. For example, everybody have how to say inji cloth, upper cloth, but someone no have upper clothes. May say, oh, someone with bare body. Such a body, everybody have or not? Have. Body already have. Only with someone with just a body, no clothes. Body everybody have, but other people have white t-shirt, black t-shirt, but someone no other clothes. So with bare body, with the plain body, we may say like that. So this citta with restlessness. Restlessness is every citta associates, but this citta no doubt, no greed, only restlessness. Because of this, give the name with that mental factor. So what is restlessness? Udicca. Udicca is opposite of peacefulness of the mind. Similarly is like water, like by water, shaken by wind. Shaken by wind. Because of wind, the water shake. That is restlessness. Some simile are like a flag hit by wind, strong wind. Some simile are like ashes hit by a throne. So meaning is the mind is not concentrate. The mind is shaking. Whenever we do akusala, our mind is not have a concentration, not have a peacefulness, no peace, opposite of peace. That is uddhacca. So mostly we may arise this citta. If we don't have doubt, we don't have other greed, anger, this citta arise. This citta is cannot produce a woeful state as a life, but after reborn can get a result. Very weak akusala mind. For example, normally we stay, don't know everything, don't know Dhamma, normally we stay. Maybe that citta may arise. No greed, no anger, no doubts. So just restlessness. That citta. So if normally we enjoy lives, we stay lives, no have anger, no have a delusion, or no have a doubt, no have a greed, if so, that citta may arise. So that is a moha mula citta, rooted in craving, rooted in delusion. So all are 12. That is akusala citta. According to Sutta way, many akusala we can mention. If you want, you greed a car, house, everything, that is a greed. Many things you can say. But according to Abhidhamma, only 12. This is citta. One of the 12 may arise within you. Also the same nature, for example, greed. If we have a greed, we want to attach, we want to get. In the same way, this citta arises within dog. That dog may shake his tail to eat food like that. In the same way, anger also the same. If we have anger, we want to destroy, we want to disturb, we have sad. In the same way, if within dogs, that dogs also want to bite or sad, not happy, the same. For everybody, the same nature. That is a Abhidhamma term or technique term. So all akusala cittas are for what? To remove, to avoid. Why? That is a can produce woeful state. That is to avoid. Later, kusala citta will come. So not to have akusala citta, the Buddha teaches in Sutta, papanchena kiyita, not to do evil things. If you do, you happen to do, should not do agananga. Should not do agananga. Nadami chandan kiyirata. Should not have a desire to do evil things. Why? Dukkha babasa osayo. Suffering is the collection of akusala. Suffering is the maturity of akusala. Like that. In Sutta, the Buddha teaches, now what is akusala, you know. So, now you should stop in this lesson. Mostly Abhidhamma, to learn Dhamma term, not so easy. That is like science. Because of this, you may have a question. If you have a question, you can ask me. I will answer if I can. Do you know two kinds of invitation? One is a Buddha's invitation. The other one is a disciple's invitation. The Buddha's invitation is everything you want to ask. Okay, for him, no worry. But disciples have a limit. Because of this, disciples' invitation is different. In the literature mentioned, should invite. If I can, I will do. Okay, but those there we have learned by giving a lot of time. I may able to answer for you. Huh? What Dhamma? Oh, Bahita Dhamma. Bahita. Bahita is B-A-H-I-D-D-H-A. Bahita Dhamma. Dhamma is D-H-A-M-M-A. Bahita Dhamma. In the Abhidhamma books, Dhamma called the Dhamma Singani, the Buddha mentioned in two ways about the Dhamma. Ejjata Dhamma, Bahita Dhamma. Ejjata Dhamma is internal phenomena. Bahita Dhamma is external phenomena. Ejjata Dhamma is within us. The Dhamma within us. The phenomena within us. What kind of phenomena we have? Number one is consciousness. Number two is cetasika, mental factors. Number three is materiality. That is Ejjata Dhamma. Nibbana is not included in Ejjata Dhamma, internal phenomena. External is outside of our body. So other people are for me outside. So they have consciousness, Cheta. They have cetasika, mental factors. They have rupa, materiality. Also Nibbana. Nibbana is not within us. Because of this, Nibbana also external Dhamma. So internal Dhamma is Cheta, cetasika, and materiality, rupa. External is Cheta, cetasika, rupa, and Nibbana. Yeah. That is a Bahita Dhamma. But in one place, the Buddha said to find out Nibbana, only in this body Nibbana has. That is another saying, not directly saying. That is like a poetry. Nibbana is really not inside of the body. But to see Nibbana, we have to discern our mentality, materiality. After enough discerning, our mind can take the object Nibbana. So because of this, the Buddha teach like that. Nibbana is to find Nibbana, should not see other places, should see your body, should find out in your body. But Nibbana is external Dhamma. Any question?
Why is it that dosa mula ceta has no deity?
No deity.
Why?
Yeah. I think mostly deity is associated with greed, based on attachments on the body. So those people they have attachments. For example, by attaching body, they think after passed away, no more life. Always together with attached. Their thinking is based on the body. Some wrong view are like that. After passed away, something left, something changing in body, no dying, no passed away. That is we call it sasta deity. Some deities are after passed away, no more life, cuts. So their such thinking are based on body, based on attachment on the body. Because of this, always associate greed always associate lobha, no associate. Another thing is if you have a wrong view, lobha already have. Whenever you have such a thinking, you have a lobha. If we have anger, that is a little bit for me to explain, a bit difficult. But I have read such wrong view is always together with attachment, based on attachment of the body. That thinking can have mostly, for example, something inside, for example, like a soul. If they think have this soul, they attach this soul. At that time, the same time, have a wrong view. Dosa is quite different. Different may not think about the soul. For example, by seeing other person, he don't like, doesn't like, may not think about the soul, may not have a wrong view, may not think when they have anger, for example, disappointed other people, have anger by seeing other people, he may not think after passed away, no more life. Or he may not think my soul, he may not think at that time, my soul after passed away continue the life. So in that time, so greed time, wrong view is like that. First of all, think soul. So if so, at that time they have attached that soul, greed, attach that soul, greed that soul. So this soul may continue next life. So wrong view the same time. Anger is a different thinking. So I anger him, I have angry about him, only want to destroy him, want to kill him. At that time he not think after passed away, no more life. Such thinking he may not have. That is a wrong view. Or after passed away his soul may continue another life. He may not have that then. So at that time he may not have a wrong view. But arising in time, you may need to know 3 levels of defilements. One level is arising, committing. For example, killing some people, that is committing. The other level is arising in mind, not commit. So the other level is like a tendency. So when we have anger, the wrong view may have as a tendency, but not have arising. Non-association we mean here is arising in time. For example, in a tree, sometimes no fruit, but that tree have a tendency, potentiality to get fruit. In the same way, when we have anger, at that time may have a wrong view as a tendency, potentiality, but the same time cannot arise. The same time cannot arise. Anger, wrong view, the same time cannot arise. Because anger thinking is different. Want to kill, want to destroy, like that. When we thinking like that, at that time we not think as a wrong view. No cause and effect, or after passed away no more life, or may continue, soul may continue, such a thinking within our mind not have. So deity and anger not arise together. Because of this, not associate. Another one is you may know Visakha, a devotee of Buddha's monastery. He is a Sotapanna. Sotapanna can dispel wrong view totally. Wrong view totally. She has sometimes anger, small anger, not until to kill others, but because of her grandchildren passed away at that time, she said, such anger she have, she cried. So she no have a totally wrong view. Even potentiality she no have, but still have anger, still have thinking. Oh, that is a no go. Passed away, she passed away, sad cry. But she understand about the karma result, that anger is no go. She understand. So that means anger and wrong view not the same thinking, different thinking. Different thinking. So not only anger, here delusion also. For example, I see the Buddha. He is really Buddha or not? If we think, that is no wrong view case. Wrong view is here wrong view. Wrong view is many types, but here is 3 types. 3 types is especially only one. Then he stop cause and effect. Cause and effect. So if we see Buddha, he really Buddha or not? If we think, we don't think about the cause and effect. About the cause and effect. So because of this, at that time, deity cannot arise. Different thinking. But when we think like that, I will steal something, I want something. At that time, the same time, that is no problem. No cause and effect. If we think, that is with the wrong view. With the wrong view. Even greed, sometimes without wrong view. Without a wrong view is steal, just steal. But they have that is understand, that is have a fault. No good. But they cannot control their mind, want to get something. If so, that is without wrong view. So meaning is wrong view is only can have together with greed type. Something need to attach, especially may attach soul. May attach soul at the same time. If attach, anger not include. Yeah. Okay. So any question? Okay. You may not have. Huh? Yeah.
Okay, I'm confused about the one, 2 kinds of consciousness rooted in delusion.
Yes.
So it mentioned about equanimity associated with restlessness. So I'm
yeah.
confused about that part.
Yeah. So delusion, Chaita is quite weak. You see one object. If you decide that is a very good, you may have a greed. You may have a happiness. So if you think object, that is very bad, or for example very hot, or he disturbed me. If so, you may have anger. If so, you may associate with unpleasant feeling. So this restlessness is just cannot concentrate, or don't know in mind or cause and effect, don't know mentality, materiality, don't know nibbana, don't know materiality, just that only. So normally you are doing something, you are like forgetting about the Dhamma, forgetting about the cause and effect. Yeah. If so, that consciousness is very weak. If you weak, whatever object impinge you, you may not have unpleasant feeling. like anger. You may not have a pleasant feeling, like just ignore, because you are weak. Your mind is weak. Not so strong evil mind. Not so strong evil mind. So that questions some people ask some question. If we think this business successful or not, what kind of consciousness arise? That is like very normal. For the ordinary person, we should not think about those mind. Very not so obvious. Kusala, akusala, not so obvious. But if we awaken, one is a kusala, one is not akusala. One of them must have. So if we stay normally, maybe normally doing, we stay kusala or akusala always arising within us. But very weak, because not obvious kusala, not obvious akusala. We are normally staying, normally thinking. So mostly that is restless consciousness may arise. But different people, different practicing. Some people are always listening in Dhamma, practicing kusala, inclining to do kusala. Even if they find out money, they are thinking is to offer, to support parents, wives, husband, children, to take a responsibility, or to support sasana, Buddha's dispensation. They do the jobs in this way. Doing jobs is the same, but thinking is different. Based attitude in their mind is different. Some people find out money, earning money, to enjoy sensual pleasure. If I have money, I may go holiday. I may enjoy like that. So most of the time, they think like that. So their habit is always inclined to have akusala. Some habits are always inclined to have kusala. So, but if you pay attention to do kusala, you may do, or I should do kusala. But normally, if we stay just a flow, according to flow you go, according to your habit you may go. You not control your mind. If so, maybe according to individuals, some are inclined to do kusala. If so, kusala mind arise, but very weak. If inclined akusala mind, so normally akusala arise, because they are thinking is always enjoying, to have anger, to disturb other people. So although not so obvious, arise those things. So such mind is restlessness, consciousness. You not control your mind. So if you practice concentration, you trying to focus, that is a doing. That is a doing. So whenever you can focus this object, that is have a concentration. That is a kusala mind. Normally we stay like that. We don't do anything. We according to flow we go. We not control our mind. If so, according to our inclination, according to our habits, may flow. Maybe kusala, maybe akusala. If so, if akusala, that akusala possibility is with the restlessness. Yeah. That is a normal. You're not so happy at that time. Also, you're not so sad. That is like equanimity, neutral feeling only, because normally staying.
Sorry, but I thought equanimity is peaceful. So how
Oh,
can it be
no.
associated with
No, that is another one. That is according to feeling. According to feelings are three kinds. One is a pleasant feeling. One is a unpleasant feeling, like sad, anger, sorrow. That's the unpleasant feeling. Equanimity is between that. One kind of feeling. Yeah, just a feeling. One kind of feeling. Between that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Kusala also have a feeling. Akusala also have a feeling. In every moment, have a feeling, have such a feeling. Maybe happy, maybe sad, or maybe neutral. Maybe neutral, yeah. So something you see this object, if you think that is very good, you may be happy. So if you think that is very bad, not suitable for me, show off are better than. If you think you may sad, you think that is a disagreeable object, but you think that is a normal, you think not so good, not so bad. If so, that is a neutral feeling. So neutral, pleasant feeling is you need to get very good object. Unpleasant feeling is you need to get very bad object. Neutral feeling is a normal object. Yeah, that is based on object. Sometimes object is not different, but attitude. One thing is attitude. For the rich man, most of properties may think that is not good. Like that. So one is attitude, one is object. To have such a feeling. Yeah. In every now also we have a feeling. One of them. One of them. Maybe happiness, maybe unpleasant, maybe neutral. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Under
Under the doubt.
doubts.
Yeah, under doubts,
Yeah.
you mentioned doubts in 8 areas,
Yeah.
like Buddha's quality, etc.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
karma one of them?
Yeah, karma.
It's one of
That,
them.
that is the one of karma. One of karma, akusala karma. Sure, because that is if this is a good quality, you should know as a good quality. If this is a good quality, but you cannot decide that is a good or bad. You may lose this. That is a not good mind. Not good mind. Because that is a good quality. If you know as a good quality, you may pay respect. You may beneficial. But if you cannot decide that is a good quality, not good quality, so you practice Anapana, for example. Anapana can produce a good result. That is a reality. But if you think that is maybe right, maybe wrong, so your mind become weak. You cannot focus on that. You cannot progress like that. That is quite dangerous. So opposite of doubt is faith, believing. Believing also, if believe Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, that is believing we call faith. But if believe someone, evil person, although evil person we don't know, we believe, that is we not call faith. According to Buddha's term, not called saddha. That is a wrong decision. So, like that, if object is correct, if you believe, that is beneficial for you. In the same way, if object is wrong, if you believe, that is not beneficial for you. So, but to decide right or wrong is need to have knowledge. Knowledge. But some people don't have knowledge. Meet the Buddha, they believe, just believe. Luckily, they find a good one. That is they beneficial. For example, I find someone, I believe that one. If he is good for me, that is beneficial. So, if beneficial, my attitude is have to call, that is a good one. But someone I find, I believe him, he is wrong person, evil person. So, my believing is not beneficial. That is we not call saddha, wrong decision. Sometimes based on object. Based on, if object is good, we should know that is good. Yeah. If a good person just believing, okay. Okay. In the Buddha time, some people meet the Buddha, believe Buddha, don't know other than, but they can get better life, Deva life like that. Luckily, because of their good karma, they have a chance to meet the Buddha. Like that. So that is considered bad karma. We'll do sharing merits. Idame nyatinam hodu Sukhida hundu nyadayo Idame nyatinam hodu Sukhida hundu nyadayo Idame nyatinam hodu Sukhida hundu nyadayo Idame bonyan Asawakayan Wahan hodu Idame bonyan Nibbanasa Pachayo Hodu Mama bonya bagan Sabha Satana Pajemi Tesabe Mesama Bonya Bagam Labandu Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu